Welcome to Landlord Diaries, where we talk about midterm rentals and the opportunities behind them. We'll share landlord stories, talk about maximizing investment potential, and discuss how to live the very best landlord life. This podcast is proudly brought to you by Furnished Finder, the place for everything midterm rentals. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy our content.
Thank you so much for being here. It is your host, Kelly Bailey, in the Austin, Texas area with around 5 midterm rentals. And I am excited for y'all to hear about Dr. Chau today. We met him at the Midterm Rental Conference. And my co-host...
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Lyon, and I am the marketing director of Furnished Finder. I'm the co-host here with Kelly, and I'm a midterm landlord as well. I feel like I need like the world's longest name badge. But today was cool. We got to talk with Dr. Chau, and like Kelly said, we first met him at the Midterm Rental Summit, and he has a very, very inspiring story, and he's all about sharing his wealth of knowledge with other people who are looking to grow their financial freedom and their presence within the real estate investing world. And he's a very inspirational gentleman, and he is also just very happy with just such a great energy. Like, I feel like after talking to him, I'm like, okay, like the world's okay, like you know, and that that takes a special type of person. So he also drops a lot of gems in this episode, you guys. Like, there's so much good tips and information in here. So get your pens and pencils out for this one, because it's great. It's so great. And just to remind everyone, this episode and every episode of the Landlord Diaries is brought to you by Furnished Finder. FurnishedFinder.com is your one-stop shop for everything midterm rental. If you are a landlord, you can list your property for only $99 a year. And let's go. Let's hear it.
Today, we have the privilege of talking with Dr. Chau in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Chau went from immigrant to multimillionaire with corporate housing and has 300,000 plus followers on social media and hundreds of students he educates about the main perks of the corporate housing strategy. His motto is, get this guys, don't miss it, cash flow 10 to 20,000 per month in 90 days without owning any property, no employees, and only having a 4-hour work week. So, Dr. Chau, you've got some big shoes to fill following that motto, and we're excited to talk with you. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Good to have me. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Well, we're excited to hear about how someone can go to 10 to 20K per month in 90 days. But first, let's talk about, why are we calling you doctor?
Yeah, so I am a real doctor. I'm not a fake one. So I'm a pharmacist. So if I may share a little bit about myself so everybody can know me. I was an immigrant from Vietnam. We came over here with nothing, all 4 of us, my mom, my dad, my sister, and I. And we had to sleep on one mattress, literally, in the worst neighborhood possible. And we would hear gunshots as we go to school. I would see her cry every night to sleep. So I was like, how can I help her and make this American dream come true? Because you see, my mom and dad had to work manual labor in the dry cleaner, cut and burn themselves each and every day, just to put food on the table and get us to school. So what was the one goal that everybody wants their son to be? Is the doctor or lawyer, right? So that's what she instilled in me, and society told me that is what I needed to do to become successful, achieve the American dream. So we sacrificed everything to got my doctor in pharmacy, also got my MBA as well, and graduated, thought I made it, become one of the top pharmacists for Fortune 10 companies, won an award for that. And what I got was more work, same pay, which is less because of inflation, and less help from all my tech, because they know that I can handle it. So they give me more KPIs to do and less help. So I was like, this is not the American dream. It's more like the American nightmare. So I was frustrated, burned out, and I tried all kind of businesses, but most businesses require either a lot of money or a lot of time. until I stumbled upon this business, corporate housing arbitrage.
I love it so much. I'm sorry that your family had to go through all that. That is not a great start, but some of those stories are what make the best examples and those that we admire and look up to in the business world, spiritual world, life coaches. So you've got such a powerful story that I'm so glad that you're using it to encourage others to not only go through what you went through, but change your trajectory, right?
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how that happened, how you came to discover kind of the opportunities within real estate and how you went from, a pharmacist working to, your first property to your second. And then when you decided, okay, this no longer makes sense for me to be working 9 to 5.
Yes, absolutely. So, um, well, first of all, I know that I had to have my own business because I look at anybody that have financial freedom, they have their own business. So, even though a W-2 is not going to cut it, I would look at my mentor, who a pharmacist, 20, 30 years senior for me, and he's still doing the same thing, frustrated. We didn't have time to eat lunch or breaks, anything. So I was like, that's not where I want to end up. So first of all, you got to realize that first, and then try all kind of other businesses to figure out that. Like I tried drop shipping, I tried MLM, I tried basically anything you can think of. To realize that most businesses require either like full time in or like a ton of money. Like I opened a restaurant that cost me $400,000 before. It took me a year to build, and all I got was a full time job that making me like 50K a year.
You did
So
that or
I did
someone
that
else?
too.
You did
No, I
that
did
too?
that
I
personally.
didn't know that
Yes.
part.
Yes, I did. Guys, I did all kind of business. I did everything. Trading, crypto, forex, everything. Okay, so
That's good to know though, because all too often people just sell the success, right? And not the fact that it's an up and down. So carry on. I just wanted to add that in there.
yes, absolutely. So, so then after failing a bunch of businesses, I realized that most business require a lot of time, like 40, 50 hours a week. Well, I didn't have 40, 50 hours a week. I was a full-time pharmacist, right? I even had to take care of my mom who was going through cancer too. And that was my big why, is to make something happen fast so that way I can have time and money to take care of her, right? So, and then I look at, other kind of real estate opportunities like flipping, right? Rehab, Burr method, right? You know that, and
Brr.
like, yeah, multi-family. For those you don't know, Burr, like, buy it, rehab, refinance, rent it, blah blah blah. But that take about hundreds of thousands of dollars just to do one deal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then it took like 6 months to a year to build it, and then you hope and pray the market don't crash or interest rate doesn't go up like it did this past year. Most of my flipping frame is flopped now, unfortunately. So that doesn't work really for the long term, right? It worked for short term, but it's also a job. It's active income. So I knew that I had to get passive income. It's not about trading my time for money, because what's the worst trade in the world, guys? What is the worst trade in the world?
Your time.
Yes, time for money, right? Because you're trading your life for money. You're trading a non-renewable, limited resources for something that is abundant. Um, so then I look at multifamily. Like, oh, passive income, multifamily. Yeah, right. I can do this. Well, what I found out is you only make like 4 to 5% cash flow per year. So you need, like, to replace a six-figure income, like just 10K a month. You need $2.5 million. How long will it take for me to save $2.5 million, even
Right.
at pharmacist level? Never. Okay, so that
Right.
doesn't work. So then, look at Amazon, eBay, all that too, but that is a full-time job again, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
constantly. I don't want something where it's constantly changing, right? And I have to keep up with all the AI stuff going on right now. AI
Hmm.
is disrupting every industry except one. It's the rental industry.
Housing. I knew that because I listened to your stuff.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But most people don't understand that, right? And I want to get that message out, because most people are scared right now because of the AI disrupting and all everything. Well, don't be scared. If you're in the rental business, you're good, because how is AI gonna hack where you and I are gonna be sleeping tonight, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not. Everybody need their own space, their own bed. The bigger, the better, right? So So that's why, that's why I'm passionate about this. And but anyway, so I got started. Thanks to somebody that shared me this idea. That's why I'm going to share this idea to other people. Is you don't have to own the property to make money from it. Okay, it's called arbitraging somebody else's property. Why? Because here's the thing: does Airbnb own any property? No, right? Does Uber own any cars? No. So why do we need to? Right? I mean, we like to, but we don't need to.
Right.
Yeah, you want to control everything or nothing. Is really the best way to do it, because when you own something, that come with it maintenance, that come with it worry, all that stuff, right?
For sure. I'm excited to dive into the tangible aspects of it. Man, you're a good coach and a good motivator. Now let's give people the ones that are sitting there thinking, yeah, that's great for him, for Dr. Chau, but how am I supposed to make that happen? So let's start with your portfolio. Tell everybody, how long it took you to build your portfolio, how many arbitrage rentals you have. What's the scoop there?
Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Furnished Finder, the ultimate platform for hassle-free midterm rentals. Whether you're a seasoned landlord or just getting started, Furnished Finder is the place for you. With Furnished Finder, you can say goodbye to booking fees and hello to direct bookings for 30-day plus stays. It's a win-win for everyone involved. So if you're ready to experience the joys of midterm renting and take a load off your landlord's shoulders, head over to FurnishedFinder.com today. We make it easy to get started. We're grateful to Furnished Finder for sponsoring this episode, and we're sure you'll love what they have in store for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I have about 25 arbitrage, 25 properties right now. 10 I own, 15 I arbitrage. And on top of that, I have helped hundreds of my students to do hundreds of properties nationwide. Okay. So this past few years, I've been focusing more on helping my students because of my mission and purpose, to help them do that. So how you get started is simply a 2 a month financial freedom plan. So can I share with you guys the financial freedom plan that will allow you to get absolute financial freedom 3 to 6 months? Okay?
Yes, please.
Yeah. We're not talking about the 3 to 6 years plan, okay? So as you know, the 401k is a 30, 50 year plan. Who want that? I mean, we're not gonna be alive then.
Yes.
Right.
And then any kind of business out there, you got a 3 to 10 years plan. It's still too long for me. Okay.
Right.
6 months plan. So the plan is to get 2 a month. So that's in 3 months, you get 6 properties, making you $12K a month.
Net or gross? Are you talking about pre-expenses? Okay.
Net, yeah. How many of you can retire or replace your income with $12K a month?
I mean, yeah, I think that's fairly doable for most people.
Yeah, most people. So 3 a month. Now, if you make more, then do 3 more months. You got 12 properties, making you $24K a month net.
That's simple.
It's really simple, right? Yeah.
And let's talk about what's the average profit that you're hoping to get from each arbitrage per month? Is it $1,000 per month, $2,000 per month?
2,000.
Well, I just want everyone to make sure and these aren't 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom condos. A majority of your portfolio is 3 to 4 bedroom single family homes, right, Dr. Chau?
That is correct.
So you're looking for larger properties.
Right, but however, if you're in like a tighter market like New York or California, you still can make 2K per month off of the condo. Okay, because most of my students who are in California, Florida, they're making like 4K a month per house. So I'm just saying on average.
Okay, so you're looking at more housing families or corporate relocations where there's a higher budget. What would you say your average or your students' average listing price is? So your rental price.
Yeah, it will depend on where they are at. If
Sure.
it's in Florida or California, it's gonna be anywhere from 6K to 8K.
Okay.
Sometimes 9K, 10K a month. If it's in Texas or somewhere similar to Texas, then it's 4 to 5K a month.
Okay. So you're essentially looking to double the rent that you pay. Okay. Which I think is fairly typical for arbitrage. This is actually interesting because Kelly has all her and her husband own all of their properties. I have a split, but right now all of Well, no, I can't say that. I do have a split even of my midterms, and it sounds like you have a split as well, but your focus is for the arbitrages, right? And that's always my focus, my effort as well is to double it, but you do see the economies of scale once you get to these larger properties, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the reason for that is I love insurance housing, where families need a place to stay when their home get damaged, and the insurance will pay, and they pay super well. Most families will need a private fencing backyard, more space, kids, dogs, right? That hotels or condos couldn't accommodate.
Right.
Right.
You have hundreds of students that you're teaching this concept. So we've broken it down really well for people today listening. So one, I want you to go ahead and, kind of give advice on where do you get started building this? Like now that we have the baseline, like how do they get started? I really like your FAST method. So
Yes.
tell everybody about the FAST method.
Yes, so it's very simple step, guys. 4 step fast because I like things fast. Okay, F is find the location, find the right property, find location. Is ask to sublet. S is set up to stand out. T is to tap into corporate clients. Okay, so how you find the right location? Well, most people will tell you that it take what's the number one rule in real estate? Number one rule.
Location.
Yes, location, 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 right? However, most people will tell you need a ton of research, you need a ton of software, or you don't know how to find one, all of that. I want to share with you a secret that took me like 5, 6, 7 years to figure out.
Ooh,
You can find the right location within minutes, and it will
nice.
probably save you a ton of time and also have about an 80% success rate. You want to hear about that?
Yes.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's called the 3 H's rule. So highways, hospitals, and hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when 2 highways intersect, right? 2 highways intersect, there's 4 pieces of pie. Well, for some reason, one of those pieces of pie or two will be congregate all of the hotels and hospitals around that, right? The right side of the track. Okay. So the idea is when you follow the whales, you're gonna get fed, right? You ever seen a little fish always swim with the whales? Why? Because the whales know where the food are. So we just gotta swim with the whales. Why? Because these companies, these hotels drop $100 million to $1 billion to build a hospital. Don't you think they've done their research?
Right. That's kind of like Starbucks, right? Like anywhere that Starbucks is building a bunch of stores is probably a place that's growing.
Right. I mean, yeah, Starbucks is a good one too. So you want to look at that, and then as long as it within, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes from all these major hotels, hospitals, and also highways, because the government built the highways. When 2 highways intersect, it's a powerful place, right? So that's when hey, you got a very good shot that it's gonna work out. Now I do have a lot more secrets, but I couldn't share. I only share with my students, otherwise they would not be happy. But yeah.
I hear you there. So we're on FAST. We're on A, ask to sublet.
Yes, ask to sublet. So most people will be like, hey, can I Airbnb your property, man? Hey, I watched some guy on YouTube. I know I can do it, right? You can trust me, man. And they're gonna be like, hey, how many have you done? He's like, my first one or my second one. No. How's
Wrong
that gonna
answer.
work? Wrong answer, right? So what I do is I show them how to leverage my expertise, my community. The power of the network is in the network.
Yes.
So that's why I built a corporate housing network. It's called Beyond Corporate Housing Network. So beyondchn.com. You can check it out. Click on partnership. You will see, all of my partners in there. And I don't know if you guys can, share screen and pull that site up. But that would be very powerful. I don't know if you can do that, but
yeah, we put it in our show notes. If you're listening to the episode, it'll be in the show notes on YouTube.
Cool. So in there you will see that we have partners all over the nation from coast to coast, right? So when you approach somebody, the landlord, and you share them with that, and you show them that, it's game over, man. It's game over, right? And then the pitch. I'm gonna give you the pitch that made me millions of dollars. You ready? Okay. I hope you'll take notes. All right.
I'm taking lots of notes.
Okay. Mr. Landlord, I love your property. I love you. here's what we do. We are a corporate housing professional provider. Okay, we are coast to coast. Our team and I have done hundreds of these nationwide, over 20 years combined experience. We want to see if you're probably qualified for what we do. If it is, we're gonna pay for it to be clean every couple months. We're gonna pay for it. Secondly, any maintenance under $200 a month, we're gonna pay for it. We're not ever gonna bother you middle of the night. We're basically managing it for you for free. Okay. Third, we have corporate clients, so you don't have to worry about it being crazy or vacation. We don't do vacation renting, so you don't have to worry about that. Fourth, we can do a 3 years lease, right? And then the ACE card, if they hesitate after all of that, if they hesitate, I'd be like, how about I pay you above market rent? Let me ask you this, Mr. Landlord. Has anybody offer you these things as a tenant? All your applicants, anybody offer you these things?
Yeah. No one has.
Exactly.
Right.
So
I think my first question, like on the landlord side, would be, it sounds too good to be true. Like, how can I verify your company or that what you're saying is true? What do y'all say to that?
Hey landlords, are you ready to level up your rental game and simplify your life? Well, get ready to meet your new best friend, KeyCheck. KeyCheck is your all-in-one solution for stress-free property management with tenant-paid screenings, rent payment processing, online lease creation with eSign, and a suite of incredible landlord tools. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it. No more chasing down checks or sifting through piles of applications. KeyCheck helps you organize and manage all things landlording in a simple and efficient way. So if you're tired of the rental chaos and crave seamless, efficient management, head over to keycheck.com and sign up today. Make landlord life a breeze with KeyCheck, the game changer for modern property owners.
yeah, sure. So that's why I had that website, right? And then I have the student website onto my website, so they see that they belong to a professional network, and then they see all the other stuff. So that's how
Very
you can, that's how you can overcome that.
Okay, S, set it up to stand out. So we've got fast, find the right location, ask to sublet. Now you want to make sure and succeed, set it up to stand out. How do you do that?
Yeah, exactly. So, that would take like, a whole day or 2 day workshop. However, some of the quick strategy that I can instill in you is always think, how do you stand out? How do you stand out, right? So one of the way is small things matter, small gifts matter. Okay, so ladies, what are you like? Starbucks, right? Chocolate. Would you like have some of that? Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah, so a small gift basket go a long way, right? Some Starbucks gift cards, some chocolate, right? Amazon them something, and then we guys, we just like what? A grill, some beef, and a beer. So we're good. Okay. I'm kidding. Okay.
You're not kidding. It's true, and that's good. That's true. But I think your point is to be thoughtful and put something in there to really have the hospitality to welcome them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. I think, and I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say that you're very thoughtful with your furnishings as well, because that's something that Kelly and I talk about with guests all the time. It's just, putting some thought and effort into that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely some thought and effort into that. Now, for corporate clients, the most important thing is they want a good night's sleep. So you want to have what's the name of that?
The blackout
curtain,
yeah.
blackout room, blackout curtains, and then noise reduction fans. Like those are the musts, right? And keep everything just nice, clean, with some maybe some essential oils as well, to really help the mood as well. So yeah, those little things.
So with that, set it up to stand out. How do you do that without breaking the bank? Because if you're wanting a very comfortable night's sleep, choosing the right mattress and the right furniture, how do you make it, not cut into your profit for too long? And what do you coach your students on how quickly they should recoup those costs?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have all the list of everything they need to get, item by item, all the links and everything, and we find the one that is best for the budget. So the budget is about 7 to 8, 9K max. per 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom home, which is pretty good, right? I mean, that's pretty good. Um, so we, we got down to the science basically. However, well, I mean, for the mattress example, you want to use the memory foam mattress,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we have the link for that, and the thicker mattress, like 10 inch, 12 inch. Those are the best. It doesn't break the bank, and it's easy to ship, that kind of thing. So there's just so many things in there. But,
Awesome.
yeah.
And it sounds like you recoup those costs based off, teaching and being able to accomplish 4K per month cash flow. Well, then you're recouping those costs in around 2 months, 2 to 3 months. That's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. If you're in California or Florida, 4K, no problem, right? I
Yeah.
always want to make it conservative. I just say 2K. Even if 2K, that's
Right.
only 3, 4, 5 months, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
check this out. You bring a good point because most people don't understand this concept. The math is very simple, but it's very important. All you need for this business is first month rent, first month deposit, and furnitures. So let's just say first month rent 2,500, first month deposit 2,500. That's 5K. Furniture 7K. Easy math. 12K. You're making 2K a month minimum. 2K a month. Conservative. 6 months. How many months does it take to make your money back?
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Within your first year, you double your money. What kind of return is that, guys?
It's a great return that not many businesses or hardly maybe no other businesses can offer.
No, I haven't found anything. I got an MBA. I haven't found one. 200%.
You're
200%, guys. First year. Have you ever heard any business do 200% return on your first year?
Yeah,
All
that's
right, so tell
amazing.
us what's our T for? What's the T for?
Oh yeah, T is to tap into corporate clients. So how do you tap into corporate clients, right? So you want to contact Furnished Finders. Sign up right now. It's the number one place for you to get corporate clients, right? Now that's one of my secrets, but you're on the show, you know about this, so that's great. Now
We don't want it to be a secret anymore.
I know, I know. I tell everybody about it, right? So, but like and then there's a lot other great platform as well. But anyway, the number one thing you want to focus on is build that relationship with the human resource department. So whether it's a hospital, whether a company, whatever, call them, talk to the human resource department, tell them what you do, right? And build a relationship. If you're in the hospital, walk into the hospital. Hey, can I talk with the human resource department? Take them out to lunch, whatever. Okay. If you're military, play your vet card, man. Contact the local military. They have a ton of resources. You help locals. And vet starting a business. July 4th just passed. Thank you for all you guys for service. My dad was in the Vietnam War. So that's something. You gotta be resourceful. Like Tony Robbins taught me, it's not your resources. You gotta be know how to be resourceful.
I want to add something in here that was kind of a cool situation that ties into the tap into corporate housing is being on Furnished Finder opens up a lot of those doors for building those relationships. So there's I have 5 properties, as y'all know, in the Austin, Texas, up to Temple area. Well, I got a call the other day, and I've received a couple of these calls. They're like, "Hey, I found your property on Furnished Finder. I think it could be a great fit for our clients. When is it available? Blah blah blah. All the normal questions." And then they're like, just fill out this information. I'm like, okay, are you asking me to pay you? Like, what's going on here? Some of them, yeah, they want you to pay them to be able to, add into their network. I typically say no to those. But there was a very unique call that I just got last week. They said, hey, no, it doesn't cost anything. We found you on Furnished Finder. You can add your property to our large database of Texas-wide insurance claims, and you make exactly what you want to make, and we negotiate more on top of that for ourselves with the insurance companies. I was like, oh, well, I'm making exactly what I want to make. You guys are making extra on top of that. Sounds like a win-win for everybody. So I thought that was a brilliant idea. And all that is from those connections on Furnished Finder, because there's that big push nowadays. Don't rely on the OTAs, which, I understand it, but that's the cool thing about Furnished Finder is we're not your typical OTA.
Right.
We connect you directly with the person inquiring, landlord to tenant. Y'all have got each other's phone numbers, email addresses, and you can build a relationship from there. So I love what you're saying there on the tap into corporate housing. And yeah, there's probably way too many secrets you can give out on this episode.
Yes.
Katie, did you have something you wanted to add?
I'm curious how your experience has been with Furnished Finder and how you've gotten leads from there and been able to communicate with them, because like you're mentioning, there's two ways to connect with these corporate housing or insurance type of housing tenants, right? There's the outbound where you're calling. There's also the inbound, right, from places like Furnished Finder. My other question for you is what kind of vacancy are you underwriting for with these larger properties? Because I know, anytime we talk to Jesse or, anyone who has these larger properties, it's a big, it's a bigger risk, a bigger reward than say a smaller property. So I think that's always something that our users are curious of.
Yeah, absolutely. So I write for about 80% occupy, 80% occupancy rate. Now, everywhere in the nation, there's seasons and then there's up and down. So if you're in Phoenix or Florida, summertime is bad, right? If you're in Texas, summertime is great. So it's just all depends where you are. So when the time is good, make hay, right? Charge them
Right,
a little bit more. So I would add an extra $500 to $1,000, even $2,000 during the hot times. So that will make up for the lean times, right? So you got to put that into consideration as well with that 80%.
Perfect. And then let's talk about how you are determining the price of your properties. Now that you're talking about kind of the fluctuations in the pricing, because that's another thing that with corporate housing can be a little tricky because there's just not quite as much inventory for you to compare to. So give us kind of your insights as to how you like to do that.
Very, very, very true. So my formula is about double the market rents plus or minus utilities. So utilities could be just like $500, let's just say, easy. So in the hot time, I would add that $500 in, or add 500 to $1,000, right? And then it depend on the client that you talk to. You got to be smart about this. So
Right.
if it's an insurance client that's called as having insurance, always ask them. Whoever give out the first number in negotiation loses, guys. And let that sink in. Okay.
It's like, don't play your cards too early.
Yes. Always ask them what is the price range that you guys are looking for. Not the price, not the budget. Don't ever say the word a budget is a cuss word when you're trying to sell something. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving you guys way more than you guys want, but it's
we want it all.
That's what we do for our audience, man. We get them good info.
Yeah, budget. No, yeah. So anyway, you want to ask for the price range, right? The reason why, hey, it's $150 to $300 a night. We can do. Oh, per night, by the way, not per month. Because per night, $150 to $200 doesn't seem much, but when you multiply it for a month, it's like that's $4,500 versus $6,000 a month.
Right, that adds up real quick.
Yeah, so you want to ask them first all the stuff that they want, blah 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 blah. And like with insurance, I love it because they pay for like the admin fee, the pets fee, the pets rent, the looking good fee. I don't know, whatever fee. Like there's so many fees you can charge them. Okay, but you want to ask them first what else they want, right? So
Right.
And then you build a game plan on that. So insurance, I can charge a lot more, right? Now, travel nurses, yeah, definitely, it's hard. It's hard. So that's why my main focus is more corporate and more insurance.
That's pretty typical once you get to larger anyway, right? You're not going to have a lot of travel nurses who are looking for a 3-bedroom house unless they're traveling with a group or their family, which can happen, but it's not the standard, right?
It's not very common. Yes, correct. And what I found is travel nurse, I love them. They have a budget to work on, which I do, that's fine.
Don't you cuss at me.
No, I love. I'm in medical too, man. I know. So
You said budget's a cuss word, so I'm
Oh, I'm
calling you
sorry.
out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, good. Wow, I got a great student over here.
Kelly's a really good listener.
Yeah, she's amazing. Yes, absolutely true.
And I threw you off. Sorry about that.
Oh no, I was saying other companies you want to look into is constructions company is great because they always come in and work on a project, 3, 4, 5 months. They got to go. IT company, the digital nomads, and also oil field. Oil fields are great. You know, if you're in LA, Hollywood, TV shows, be creative, guys. The endless. If you're close to military base, government contracts. Hello, military. They're the biggest customer in the planet.
What if there's a type on Furnished Finder I've been seeing more recently. I know what it was. It's not the big budget spenders. Uh-oh, I cussed now. But students have been popping up a lot on my tenant leads around for UT around Austin, right? And so it's like students are starting to see, hey, if I want furnished housing, which a lot of students do, then now they're putting out housing requests on Furnished Finder, which is really cool.
Yes, absolutely.
And they don't mind sharing, unlike a lot of older clientele doesn't necessarily like to share, but students, they're used to it. They're like, we need to make friends.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're super passionate about corporate housing, and I really love how you highlight the perks of corporate housing, and I've written down a bunch of them through just listening to your stuff. Do you want to give some highlights of why you love the clientele and the business of corporate housing so much outside of the financial benefits?
Absolutely, guys. I'm super passionate about this because I started out with the long-term rental, right? I was like, you hear everybody. I work as corporate slavery job for me anyway. But anyway, maybe your job is better. God bless you. But I feel like I was a corporate slave. But anyway, so I was doing I was buying a property, doing long-term rental, buy one house every 3, 4 years, man, grinding it out, 10 years, and I was doing the math. So I was doing the long-term rental, and I was making like $300, $200 a month. After they move out, I got to fix everything, and there's no money there, right? So how long will it take for me to get 10 houses? 30 years.
Right. It's not so
Right.
encouraging.
Yes. So when Airbnb first got started, this is like 10 years ago. I've been doing this for like 10 years, long time. I know I look young, but I mean, but anyway.
You do. You do look young. It's a good quality.
I'm like a dinosaur in this industry. But anyway, when Airbnb first got started, I was like, this is amazing. So I did everything short term. I did all the short term rental, right? And I did vacation. I did 2 days. Then I was like, man, I scaled to like 23 Airbnbs or 24, whatever. And then I was like, man, I was pulling my hair out, right? And that's why I'm wearing the hat, because I lost all my hair. But
no, it's not. Hey, if y'all aren't watching right now and you're listening, what you don't know is how spectacular Dr. Chau dresses, and it's like it's not a show. It's who he is.
Also.
So he's got this really cool hat on with some fringe.
I'm
So
flush.
yeah, so why do you choose to dress the way that you do that stands out among the crowd? I'm sure everyone's curious.
Yes. So I mean, set up to stand out, guys. You got to stand out. Attract, draw. You want to draw people in. You know how many people come up to me and say hi just because I, look the way I look, and like, hey, what do you do? And I always wear a smile too, right? Your energy is so contagious. Like that's, I am totally in love with like life transformation mindset and all of that. So that's super powerful. Your mindset is 80% of success. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna through listening to your stuff, I'm going to kind of give a quick list of some of the things that stood out to me that is like extremely beneficial for corporate housing that we sometimes highlight but don't always highlight. It's like, and this is all from taking notes from Dr. Chau's trainings. 0 evictions, business to business clients. You actually can help money save help companies save money, because rather than them having to get multiple hotel rooms that are a couple $100 each for a family, it's one house.
Yes.
Families can bring their pets. They can have a yard. It's, longer stays, 1 to 3 months, low maintenance.
Right.
They prefer like less contact, which is really nice. So those are all some really great points. Do you want to like highlight
Yeah.
any of those?
Oh, they all are amazing. So back to my story, right? So I was having 20 something Airbnb, and imagine every single weekend you got to host 20 something vacation family or group events. And they would party, they do drugs, they drink, they want to have a good time. I don't blame them, but man, imagine that 20 something. Where's your weekend gonna go, right? How's your weekend gonna be, right? I mean, imagine that. So I was like, no more. I'm just gonna focus on my best clients. Who are my best clients? Is the corporate clients. They stay for months. They pay well. They pay upfront. They are backed by corporate housing, by insurance. So very important, guys. In business, you wanna ask yourself, what business are you in? What business are you really in? And who are you really serving?
Yeah.
Who is your ideal client, right?
Yeah.
Your ideal clients are these companies, are these insurance housing. So yes, they stay for 3, 4, 5 months on average, with 80% extension. When I hear extension, I hear this.
Is that
I
what you
love
get?
extension.
80%? Yeah,
I
that's
love
really
extension.
good.
Yes, yes. So I mean, insurance and corporate clients, amazing. And then of course, like they pay up front a lot of time. When there's damage, they will pay. They don't have to worry about it. And yeah, you let a cat out of the bag. I was going to ask the audience, 7 years doing this, or 8 years now, corporate housing. How many evictions do you guys think I had with corporate housing? 8
Zero.
years. Zero. Exactly. Unbelievable. You know any landlord with over 30 properties that done this for 10 years that have zero evictions? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's amazing.
So
And then
yeah.
one other thing that you highlighted that I think is not the mindset of a lot of people, especially if they haven't jumped into the MTR corporate housing world, is that you've already established it's a low startup investment, but it's also low risk is
Yes.
what you're
Oh,
teaching.
guys, so I fly all over the world. I hang out with Tony Robbins at his home. I play poker with Grant Cardone on his yacht.
Awesome.
I play chess with Sir Richard Branson on his island. What I found out about these multi-billionaires is asymmetrical risk to reward ratio. Okay, what's that mean is, when you look at any business, any investment, you got to always look at the downside first, right? And then you got to look at the upside. And if the risk to reward ratio is at least 1 to 5, you take the deal. Because if you lose one, you're going to lose one, but you win, you're going to win five, which means that you can have like a 20% success rate and you still break even. You're still good. You still make
Yeah.
money, right?
I liked your breakdown of what low risk means in the arbitrage world. Like if you
Yes.
have 30 properties and 3 vacancies, well, that's only 10% of your business. That's a really fascinating way to look at it. It's that a lot of people just don't consider it low risk. And I love the way you put it.
I've also liked doing arbitrages because for me, I'm like, okay, this is low risk. If it doesn't work, I just take my furniture and I'm out, right? Like I'm not until I'm like 100% sure, because I do want to keep purchasing more properties. But at the same time, I get to dip my toe and I'm not in a rush to try to figure out, okay, how am I going to come up with X amount of money to do this? Or how, like, I'm not in a rush, because I feel like the train is still moving when we do these arbitrages, right? And the risk is like, if you're not 100% confident in a market or a house size or something yet, like this is like you get to like go in the baby pool, and then you get to decide, okay, do I want to go all in with these arbitrages? Do I want to figure out a way to buy some? Like what do I want to do? So I think you hit the nail on the head there, because there's just that extra layer of kind of confidence with the arbitrages.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And with this, it's even better than 1 to 5 ratio. You ready for this? Which I love about this. So check this out. So what are you really risking? And thank you for pointing that out. You're really only risking your first month rent and first month deposit, right? You still keep the furniture, okay? And most people say, hey, what about I stuck with this lease, blah, blah, blah. For most cases, you can just be upfront with them and tell them, hey, I can't, it doesn't work out. So, I'm sorry, but I got to go. The last thing the landlord wants is somebody going to squat at their property without paying, right? So they're not going to do anything for you. With you. Yeah, go. I keep the deposit. I keep that first month rent or whatever. I'm good.
Right.
So let's say that would be like $5,000. So you're risking $5,000. What are your reward? Your reward is you're going to make $25K to $50K a year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say low end, $25K a year. And on average, you hold these for 5 years. That's $125K. So you're risking 5 to make 125.
Worth it. Very low risk.
Yeah, that's like a 1 to 25 risk to reward ratio. You only need to be right 1 out of 25 times.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, what are you waiting for, right? The riskiest play is working one job with one income and something happened to you, you're done. That's the riskiest play, right? Now with this, you have, let's say you scale it up to like, let's say 30 properties, like she was saying, you have 30 sources of income. If 3 of them doesn't work out, burn down, whatever, that's only 10% of your income. You're still good, right?
Right. All right. I want to shift gears a little bit because the other thing that we talked about in your intro is that you work a 4-hour work week, which I know is especially post-COVID. And I feel like everyone's getting a new sense of lifestyle and flexible working is very attractive. I also know that getting a VA can feel very daunting to anyone in real estate. Me. And I know I'm not alone, but like we were talking to another guest about this as well. So I would like to know kind of your tips and tricks to maximizing efficiency so you get that value of your time back. And at the same time, let's also say that because this is not talked about enough with VAs, but you're giving work and money to someone in the world who very much would appreciate it, right? So let's talk about how you make that work and kind of your tips. Where do you find your VAs? Where do you start?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So number one way to start is with your maid. The maid that cleaning your home, those are the best people that you can promote. I promote my maid all the way up now to be my property manager. She's taking care of everything. Honestly, I only work like an hour a week, guys, not 4-hour a week. 4-hour a week is for beginners. Okay. Once you get it down, 1 hour a week.
Does she take care of your South Carolina and your Texas properties, or you have one for each state?
One for each state.
Okay.
So the maid, you can pay them either a small percentage of the profit, give them a bonus, or just like $100 per property. Something simple that a month or something. So which is very affordable. And then for VAs, if you really want VAs on top of that, you can go to either Upwork.com or onlinejobs.ph. Don't pay for any people that find you VAs. They just go on there and hire somebody and charge you $1,000.
This is so crazy because we hear different things about that. So, figure out what works, right?
Yeah. So you want to hire for me? I would love the Filipino. I love my Philippines family, right? Most of my VAs are Philippines, right? So they are trustworthy, honest, God-fearing people. Amazing. So yeah, those are some of the tips and tricks. The most important thing is switch from vacation rental to corporate housing midterm rental, ASAP. That is why I can do the 4-hour work week, right? That is the number one thing. Yeah.
And that's a huge thing for everyone to realize too. And when I thought about the last time we went on a vacation and I stayed in an Airbnb, I don't think I must have messaged that host 13 times in a 5-day stay because I was like, I can't find the lockbox. There aren't enough towels that you said. Oh, there's no spare blankets. And we had like kids with us. And I was like, there's all this stuff where I'm like, the price we were paying, like this was not an extravagant Airbnb. So I know that they were profiting on it, let's hope. But I'm like, I have bugged you so much. But they were all like things that were like reasonable, right? That I felt like I'm paying this premium for a short-term stay. Like, I can't find a key or whatever, right? But then the other day, Kelly and I were talking. I just went to Europe for 16 days. I put my sister in charge of, okay, hey, tenants, here's Tara if you need her, and Tara, here's the tenants. She didn't hear a word, nothing, not one peep. And that's how it is, right? So we get to work as midterm rental landlords. We get to work on our businesses instead of inside of it so much.
Yes, absolutely. So for one vacation rental that I was managed, I would venture to say that is an equivalent of my energy, thought, time to managing 10 midterm rental. Why? Because the time that midterm rental corporate housing is about on average like 3 months for me, right? Versus vacation like 3 days. So or 5 days, So that's, you do the math. This makes sense. Yeah.
Katie, did you want to hear more about the VAs, or should we jump on to the next topic?
Let's just talk about kind of what tasks your VAs handle for you, but then let's move on.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So they can handle, of course, replying to all the messages, make sure they checked in, out, all that, and draw up the contract, the agreement. I should say, I'll never mention contract agreement, by the way. And just do all that, the DocuSign stuff. I mean, basically anything that you can delegate to them, delegate, but just double check their work. And then, I mean, that's that. The number one thing for a business owner is to let go, right? Let go and double check, but also test.
Was that easy for you to do, or did you have to learn that over time?
It's actually easier for me because I'm a more big picture person. I don't like micromanage, and I don't have to do it my way. As long as get 80% done, like if it's got an 8 out of 10, oh, that's another concept too. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. 8 out of 10 is good enough. Okay. And so if you want things to be perfect, you never get there. Perfection is actually the lowest standard. So
how often do you spot check the cleans at your property just to check up on the work, or do you have someone else spot check them for you?
Yeah, good point. In the beginning, absolutely, I would spot check all the time. Like I would go there, right after they clean or whatever, not notice, no notice, whatever, and hey, I called them, hey, what's up, right? But now I have somebody double checking for me.
Good.
So yeah.
Okay, so businesses, the corporate housing business is over in a way. We'll still incorporate it, I'm sure. And we've got two last fun questions. Your social media says that you're in the Tony Robbins Platt program, and it also says you're a 10Xer. What does that mean for those that aren't familiar with these terms?
Yes, so Tony Robbins Platinum Partner Program is the highest program. Basically, we got to hang out with him, his wife, his family 3-4 times a year. We go to all these amazing places like Africa, Dubai, all of that. But within that, we want to serve the community there as well. So in every single trip, it's not just self-development, a bunch of rich people hanging out, but we actually go to the community, build houses, donate, make a difference, and learn about ourselves, learn about life, love, relationship. So the motto for that is the word is our playground and love is our legacy. Okay. The 10X concept is by my Uncle G or Grant Cardone. He's my uncle, right? So I'm his favorite nephew. So I love Uncle G. He's an amazing. Look him up, follow him. He really lead the 10X movement, which mean that whatever you are thinking, 10X that thinking, because 10X is easier than 2X. Ooh, you never thought about that, huh?
That's the big picture mindset.
Yeah, most people think of linear growth, like the 2X growth, right? However, if you're looking at, any kind of markets, any kind of trends, anything, they hit a ceiling, they kaboom, they go skyrocket, right?
Yeah.
It's called skyrocket. So 10Xing, when you think 10X, you actually have enough resources, you have enough leverage, you have enough creativity, so that way you can get to your goal, the 10X goal, faster than the 2x goal.
That's awesome. Okay, now those of you that weren't familiar with the concepts, you've got it. And the last thing to leave us with on this episode, as a successful entrepreneur in the financial freedom world, how do you start each day, each week, each quarter, and each year?
Oh, with a
You
lot
can
of
pick
prayers.
one of those. You don't have to do every one of those.
Yeah, sure. No, great question. With a lot of prayers, guys. So I am a Christian. That really helped me a lot. So every morning I would do my prayers, priming. Priming is Tony Robbins priming. You want to look that up. Basically, 3 things you're grateful for, 3 people you want to reach out to that day and help and compliment, whatever. And then 3 dreams that you imagine you're already living it right now and celebrate right now as if you already achieve it. Feel that emotion, because we all live for that, right? But why wait for success when we already am a success? We already are a success. So we celebrate ourselves that we are already a success today, as if you already imagine it, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what you accomplish and what you don't accomplish. Okay. So that's how I started the part called the Power Hour, right? Walk outside, exercise, listen to that priming audio book or something motivational, work out at the same time. And then, of course, every night, pray, wind down, do meditation, and all of that. So those are the key thing. Oh, and your diet, exercise, water, relationship, super important. Some of the most successful people I know, they focus on that. How you do one thing is how you do everything. That's another great concept too. Okay,
That
so
is.
yes, so if you're looking at the ultra successful, the Grant Cardone, the Tony Robbins, they are super fit. Their relationship with their wife is amazing. Like everything is going like they got a Midas touch, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because their standards is so high for everything. It's not just one thing, guys. You got to raise your standard with everything and keep up with everything, because you deserve it, and then you have enough big why, so that way you don't lose the passion, the fuel, the fire. And how I find my why is something bigger than myself. You will do more for other people than you do for yourself. So my why was my mom had cancer. She's going through surgery, 3 a.m., brain surgery, and I couldn't even stay with her because I had to go back to work.
Oh,
Yeah, so I mean, you couldn't imagine how that feels. Right? So I was determined to make this happen. And now, I mean, picture a day now, I took her to a favorite vacation spot overlooking the ocean resort. We will hear the waves crashing, the birds chirping, and then we have a family for professional photographer take picture for us. And then she looked me in the eyes and said, "Son, thank you so much for retiring me. Thank you so much for taking that leap of faith of doing this crazy business when I told you not to, because you were already like successful in my eyes. But now, way beyond my dreams. Retire us, and we leave our dream home because of you. So, thank you, son. I'm proud of you."
that is so amazing. So those are the places where you connect with Dr. Chau. Dr. Chau, do you want to point him in any other direction as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to give you guys a gift as well. So almost every week I do a free live class. You want to look at my social media at Dr. Chau B&B, DRCHAU B&B, on Instagram, TikTok, all of that. So that way you get in the loop, and then go to beyondbnbsecrets.com as well. You can schedule a one-on-one. I have my top advisor give you an hour one-on-one strategy session where we map out where you are, where you want to go, and how you get financial freedom within the next 3 to 6 months. And we literally do a deep dive for you. There's a value of $1,000 I want to give to you for your audience. And thank you so much for having me, and God bless.
That's amazing.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Dr. Chau.
so very much.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.